Men's number one tennis player Novak Djokovic has once again had his Australian visa revoked. The decision was taken by Immigration Minister Alex Hawke, citing health and good order. In a statement, Hawke said it was also within the public interest. Djokovic now faces deportation and a ban from Australia for 3 years. His chances of defending his title at the Australian Open are also now in peril. However, the 34-year-old Serb can still launch another legal appeal to remain in the country. The player's visa was first revoked on the 6th of January due to what authorities called failure to provide appropriate evidence to receive a COVID-19 vaccine exemption. It was later understood that Djokovic had tested positive for the virus in mid-December and broke isolation rules. There were also errors on his entry forms that he blamed on his manager.
To discuss what this means for the Serbian player and the Australian Open, I'm joined by Euronews sports correspondent Michael Kern. Hi, thanks very much for being on the programme. So, first off, what do we know? What do we know about what's happening with Djokovic and the visa right now?
Okay, so this is pretty much breaking and adapting as we kind of go along this morning. So effectively what's happened at 6 p.m. last night in Australian time, it's not too long ago, they were served papers to say effectively that his visa has been revoked for a second time. The Immigration Minister, Alex Hawke, who we know has been considering this for the last few days, has said, "Today I've exercised my power to cancel the visa held by Mr. Novak Djokovic on health and good order grounds." So what this effectively means now that he can be deported, he can be banned from Australia for 3 years. But of course, he has the right for appeal. The competition starts Monday. So it's a very difficult task for Novak's lawyers to get something in place, in process, to enable Monday to happen. There's not been an official word yet of whether he can still play. Whatever happens, as I said, it's kind of evolving as we go along. But I've seen a comment from a Melbourne-based immigration lawyer who said that basically it's going to be an incredibly difficult task for court orders over the weekend to be issued to allow him to play next week. So look, this is evolving as we go along. And I think a massively concerning thing is the fact that we're a few days out from the first massive Grand Slam of the year. We're not talking about all those players that are training incredibly hard to win the title. We're still talking about Novak Djokovic. And if this rumbles on even further, we'll still be talking about him all the way through the tournament.
Clearly, this has been very detrimental for Djokovic himself. But how has competitive tennis, the ATP in particular, come out of this as well?
Do you know what? I think it's very, very interesting. There's been comments on Twitter, which I took note of the last couple of days, was how he's been treated as he's not been cast aside. There's not been comments out saying that he's done wrong and kind of vindicating him. Whereas we look back a couple of years ago when Naomi Osaka missed some press conferences and when she kind of took some time out for her own mental well-being, the kind of support wasn't there as much. So there's some real questions, I think, that are going to be asked around tennis and the sport's reaction from inside to all of this. And of course, there's legal aspects to this as well, which we of course have to be very careful of and very sensitive of as well. So it's not an easy issue. It's a complex issue. But yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to lose a bit of patience, should we say, if you look on social media, towards the whole situation.